Chobie the Magazine. Today we're in the kitchen with Brigitte Irby. Now Brigitte, you're going to actually prepare a meal for us, not just one item. What are you going to do today?
I'm going to prepare a Christmas meal. We always had this on Christmas Eve, and I'm going to fix Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh wow! And this has been carried down through your family for a while?
Yes, from the time I can remember when I was real little, even in the hard times, we had Wiener Schnitzel on Christmas Eve, no matter what. And I carried this on through the times with my family, and everybody expects me to fix Wiener Schnitzel for Christmas Eve.
So it's a favorite?
So it's a favorite. Everybody's favorite.
Your boys always expect it when they come home?
Yes, absolutely, and I have to fix enough for them to take back home when they go, because they love them cold.
Little doggy bags. Okay, now how do we start?
Well, I think first we do the caramelized onions today because they take the longest. And so we're going to cut up the onions and start cooking them.
Okay, sounds good.
And after that, we'll do the meat.
Okay. Now, do you typically always use 3 onions, 3 medium size?
Well, I usually use more for the family because it's going to be a big pan full. Everybody loves them. And usually Keith is in charge, our youngest son. He's in charge of the onions. He'll cut them, he'll cook them, and...
So it turns into a family ordeal. Everybody kind of pitches in?
Well...
Or he just likes the onions?
The onions. He does the onions.
Now, do you have a trick for onions so you don't end up crying?
Not really, but I don't know if you know that if you do start crying, if you smell bread, a piece of bread,
really?
It keeps you from crying.
Now, I've heard about lighting a candle.
No.
And have a candle burning.
I don't know but to us, we used to have a heel of bread right there ready to smell it, so if you really started crying.
Well, that's better than wearing those crazy looking goggles that they have.
I didn't know they had goggles.
But it's actually when you cut the center of it, that's what makes it off that odor.
These are not too bad today. Now you want to cut the rest of this?
Sure.
I like your blue fingernail.
Oh, thank you.
So now we're going over here and we're going to put these onions in the skillet on medium heat. I'm not measuring this. I know there's a measurement of, teaspoon per onion or so, but this will be just fine. So I think we're good on this and just see what happens here in a minute. You don't have to start stirring it.
Simmer in there for a little bit.
Yeah, they need to get brown. All the moisture needs to go away and so they can get brown. I am using butterfly pork chops. The original recipe for Wiener Schnitzel is veal, but I don't ever recall my mother using veal because that was way too expensive. So pork was always used, and that's what I use. But you can also use chicken for people that don't eat meat, that just eat poultry.
And maybe for a leaner option too.
Yes, you can use, but of course pork is pretty lean nowadays, it's different. So that's what I use, but you have to trim off, of course, all the fat.
Well, some people would say that's the best part, right?
Maybe so, I'm not into that, so. What I do is I use saran wrap and I put 2 pieces. That keeps it from making a big mess when you pound it.
And that's actually where it gets its name, right?
Yeah, the schnitzel part. Because Wiener means Vienna. It originated in Austria. So now we're pounding this. If you want it to be about maybe 3/8 or so of an inch, you don't want them thick.
It's a good meal to make if you've got some aggression.
Yeah,
Pound it out.
Yeah. But my sister has always been with us on Christmas, and she usually is the one that would make them for me. So she was the one in charge. Okay, so we have the meat ready, and the next thing we have to do is spread the meat. So if you want to put 2 eggs in the bowl, in the milk.
You said this is a family meal, and it's been carried down, but what most people may not know is that you're actually from Germany, correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. And Christmas Eve is when we actually celebrate our Christmas. We have a fancy meal. Everybody gets dressed up, and then after the meal, we have open gifts.
And that's typical over in Germany?
Yes. And as children, you didn't even see the Christmas tree till that night. You know, that when the tree was put up by the parents, they put it in the room.
Oh, on Christmas Eve?
On Christmas Eve, they didn't decorate it till Christmas Eve, and the living room was locked. And then after the meal, we all went into the room with the tree, and we had real candles on the tree. So.
Then you got a shock when you came to the States when people start putting up Christmas trees right after.
Right.
Or actually before Thanksgiving now.
Right. It's all at Thanksgiving. Okay, we have 2 eggs and a little bit of milk. We whisk it a little bit, and that's what we will be dipping the schnitzel in right after we put them in flour. Okay, the next thing we are doing the flour part, and I use about a cup of flour to start with. If you do a lot, you will need more.
Now, see, you're putting it on a paper towel instead of a bowl
Yes.
or a plate.
Yes, I'm putting it on a paper towel because I found that it's much easier with the cleanup. I can just, when I'm done, I just throw it in the garbage. I have nothing to wash.
Yes.
And nothing.
No extra dishes.
Yeah, and the other thing we need to do is we need to put a little bit of salt on the meat. I usually just put a little bit of salt on one side. I'm not big on salt. And then I just put it in the flour, pat it down.
So you just coat that nicely with the flour.
Yes, coat it real good with the flour. And I do them all at one time, and then we'll go from that. The next will be the...
Now, another really cool thing is you actually met your husband in Germany too, right? But he's not originally from Germany.
No, he's from Mississippi.
Now, how did you guys meet over there?
I worked at the Officers Club, and he was stationed there, and that's how we met.
And he brought you back to the States?
Yeah, but I picked him.
And how old were you guys when you guys met?
I was 19 when we met. Frank was 23, and that's a long time ago. In fact, it's 47 years we've been married.
Wow.
Well, we got married in '68, and
that's something most couples can't say these days.
that is true. Okay, we're doing breadcrumbs now. So the first thing we do is we dip the schnitzel in the egg mixture. We let it kind of drain off. And then we transfer it right over here into these breadcrumbs. And the nice thing about using a paper towel, you can do this, you can just cover it almost on both sides.
Oh, so it doesn't get as messy or as sticky.
It's, right, so you won't have the sticky fingers, because when you know.
Now, what kind of breadcrumbs do you use?
Just plain, fine breadcrumbs.
Now, if somebody wanted some sort of seasoning
I wouldn't do that.
No.
I mean, you could, but I think it'd take away from the original taste if you use seasoned breadcrumbs. All right, so we have one schnitzel. Now, you want to do one?
Sure.
and get sticky fingers.
Well, now you taught me that nice little trick, so.
Yeah, so you spread it out like this, and then but you also can put some on top if it.
So drain it off.
Yeah, drain it off.
That's so
Perfect.
great.
Yeah, that makes it easy. Gotta pat it down though. You want it to stick to it. Yeah.
Perfect.
See, look at that. You know how to do it.
That's a great little trick.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's much easier because this can get pretty messy. Onions look like they're done.
They
They're
look
nice.
great. And now you got the water started for the beans.
Yes.
And I guess we're gonna make a salad now, a fall salad.
Yeah,
to go along
before we
with it.
start the meat, put a little bit of lettuce.
Now, a salad is, you typically serve this on Christmas too for your family?
Well, sometimes we did. Mother fixed different kinds of stuff, but I do now, yes. My mother fixed different kinds. She fixed a celery root salad, which we kids didn't like at all. And I know people here don't really know what celery root is. It's a pretty ugly looking bulbous root, you know, and it tastes very different. And it's not a child thing, I don't think.
Not kid friendly.
Yeah.
So just sprinkle it on top?
Yeah. I use, in the summertime, I always use berries, but for the winter, this is nice. With a few craisins on there. And then we're going to put a little bit of blue cheese. Just put, some of that on there. And voila, there's a salad. Okay, we're going to heat up the oil.
Okay.
And I'm just pouring it, a cup and a half probably. It needs to be enough where the schnitzel will kind of float in there.
Now with the oil, does it matter what kind of oil you use?
I use canola oil.
And why do you do that? Any reason?
Well, I think it's probably has to do with the heat and so forth, but that's usually what I use is canola oil.
Okay.
But you can use other vegetable oil. I've never used the olive oil because I'm not sure how that works. So. There's room for one small one here and then the other two, one more. With beans, and I think that's enough beans.
So you just let these fry for a couple of minutes on each side?
Yes. And but just you kind of have to check them, you don't want to burn. Doesn't take very long.
Now you lowered the heat even more.
Yes, a little bit more,
Okay.
just to make sure that they don't get burned.
So as long as it's bubbling and
Yes.
we're good.
Very good. See how nice and golden brown they are? Smell. Okay.
Just until they're nice and golden brown.
Golden brown. And I'm putting in a warm oven, just keep it warm. This is for decoration only. It's fresh oregano, but it's really just decoration. And then, of course, I have lingonberry. I love lingonberries, which is like a cranberry, wild cranberries. Then we're going to put a wedge of lemon on there. Well, we cheated on the mashed potatoes. We used Bob Evans mashed potatoes from the store.
I gave him a little plug there. But if you want to take the time and actually make real mashed potatoes,
Yes.
you can do that. This just kind of cuts down.
Well,
all
it
the
cuts
work.
down because it's like when you're cooking for two people, it's a lot easier to heat up mashed potatoes from the box, Then, of course, we're going to use some of these wonderful caramelized onions. Oop, that might be a little much. I think that's too
Oh, it
much.
already looks good.
Well, it looks colorful, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then,
Well, sometimes people forget about the presentation.
yeah. Then we're going to put schnitzel in there. All right. Well, we need to leave a little room for the green beans. This is too small. Now,
And did you salt the green beans?
I cooked them in salted water, and then I tossed them in butter with a little bit of lemon pepper on them. I like it just a plain. Look at that. Perfect.
Gorgeous. Well, first off, Brigitte, I'd like to thank you for bringing us into, or really allowing us into your kitchen and preparing this beautiful dish. Thank you very much.
Christmas meal.
Yes. But it could be year-round. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's just your family. It's a Christmas thing. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm
And I
really-
thought it would be special because it has a history behind it. That's why I picked
Well, it always
this.
means more.
Yes.
And especially since you only make it once a year.
Yes.
It means so much more. Especially to your sons, I hear.
Yes.
So, well, I'm ready to try it. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
I mean, this is a treat. I get a whole meal this time.
Oh, wow. Well, it does look colorful, I have to say.
Very, very good.
Yes, it is. It's different.
I can see why your sons want it. And they want doggy bags. Oh, we forgot to put the lemon on it.
Yeah. And that makes a big difference on the meat, the lemon.
Now, is that something you added, or did you do that growing up
No,
too?
that's
You
part
always
of
did
it.
that.
Yes, that's part of it. Even if you find a recipe for a schnitzel, you have to have lemon squeezed on it. And the onions with the mashed potatoes. That's good.
Just kind of tops it off. Very, very good.
This is In the Kitchen with Brigitte Irby for Okeechobee Magazine.